Okay, finally ready. Finally ready. And not ready.
Movement of the people.
Welcome to Exodus Nation.
Movement of the people.
Welcome to Exodus Nation.
Yeah. Ooh. Pretty much, we're influenced by what we see.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a certain narrative that's being pushed, and you see in the media, you see the protests, you see everything, you see even in politics, you know, the Senate, on the floor, you know, the House, everybody's at alt with one another.
Right,
You know,
right.
people, you know, storming the Capitol and things like that. You know,
Angry.
Very. But then you
passionate.
see people, you know, you see Susie report. You know, now, he's found a way to, you know, kind of, I think, put a different narrative out there that's probably going to be more beneficial for, you know, his personal pockets, and just my opinion.
Yeah, that's Rush Limbaugh. He's gone now. He
Right, I
died
see.
last week.
Yeah, I see.
That's what he started. He loved escalating issues in this world. When it comes
Well,
down,
there's a big platform for that, man. I mean,
there
that's what makes it
there
right.
is. But that man really built that platform.
Yeah, you for sure. That's
he
the
had
Don,
he had a
right,
golden
for sure.
microphone
Right.
to prove it. Mm-hmm. He, like you said, he was the Don that did it. But now there's people we have, like you said, and technically, even though I'm going to end up talking about this man quite a bit, I think the one time you said his name might be the only time I want his name said on our time.
Gotcha.
Because it's not that I feel like we would give him more attention, but I don't even want the man's name said on this, because you don't deserve that, man. You don't. You have, this man put out a story 2 months ago, and I had just caught it, about Casey Goodson Jr. being 100% guilty and deserving to die that day.
Gun lover, brashing guns. He thought he went by. Yeah, he had a lot to say, man.
He said, we know Casey Goodson Jr. liked flashing his guns. He liked being in the car with his gun behind the wheel. He liked having him out in his pants.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know one person
He said that.
that when they buy a nice car, when they get their nice new outfit, they get them a nice new belt buckle, is not on Facebook to show off they new stuff. It's just what people do. I got the machete, and I wanted to show people, hey, my new machete. I'm not Jason Voorhees, though. I'm not about to go out on machete people just because I took a picture of my new my new machete. I mean, this is where the man took it to.
Yeah.
Because Casey took pictures with his legally owned guns. Owned guns.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean CCW. I mean not bought off the street gun. Not bought from some dude, a friend of friend. No, dude liked to go to Vance's.
Right. And he had a permit.
His mom said it. He liked to go to Vance's. He liked to get his stuff nice, beautiful. Here's the full pay price for it, sir. And here's my CCW. Everything that people want
Right.
people to have, everything people want white folks to have, this dude had it, and it's bothering some people out there. It's bothering people that he had it. In that same report, the dude said he knew it transpired.
Yeah, he was wrong.
Yeah, he said that Casey pointed this gun at the cop. And that while the family was saying, oh, Casey's family, that's what he said. Casey's family said he got shot in the back. I have a source
Yeah, he did say that.
who saw the body immediately. Right after they took it out of there, he saw it immediately. And guess what, guys? He had 3 pinholes in his chest and 3 exit wounds out his back, indicating he was coming after the officer. And then a week and a half ago, Tamala Payne, Sean Walton Jr. made the announcement.
Right.
6 times. Shot 6 times in the back. 5 times in the back.
And
1 time in the butt.
Right. Yep.
The scum wannabe podcaster, former reporter, can no longer get press credentials to even get into the mayor's press conferences anymore.
Wow.
Lied. 100%. He didn't get it wrong. He lied.
Yeah, I think he's just pushing his agenda for funding. He said it at the end of the show. Send the money here. I need something.
Guess who else he's going after?
Who else he going after?
Melissa McFadden.
Oh, is he?
Lieutenant Melissa McFadden. Hates her. Hates her.
Wow.
How dare she write the actual names of some of the racist cops at the Columbus Division of Police.
Not how they be.
How dare they?
How dare they be racist?
They're not racist.
Oh, okay.
No, dude. Racist is not real no more, man. There's no more racism.
Well, there's no need. There's just no need to wonder about their
Yeah. No, he went after her before Casey was killed, because that's what first caught my attention of the slime ball. She was speaking publicly in front of police headquarters.
Right. So
he runs up on her and wants to start questioning her.
Right. So for the listeners, before you get deep into it, though, for the listeners who don't know about Lieutenant McFadden, break it down.
Okay, yeah. Well, let me start first and foremost.
I'm just saying, you're going to tell the whole story, so
you know what?
Let them know.
I no longer want to come off in any way that I have no respect for authority, no respect for the police, no respect for any person in the position whatsoever.
Okay.
I want to make sure that I support good people in this world.
So, and this is funny because I know I'm your brother, and I know how you feel about law enforcement. Okay, now I'm not going to say how you feel about law enforcement. That's up to you to say how you feel about law enforcement. But I know, some of our experiences together, and I know, I've never heard you support any law enforcement officer at all, ever.
I talked to a friend of mine who's been a friend of mine for over 20 years.
Okay.
And I asked her, because she knows me.
Okay.
I asked her, do you think I hate the police?
Right.
She was very quick to say, no, I don't. And I was shocked that she said it. I said, oh, you don't? And they said, well, wait a minute. And I was like, oh.
I was about to say, wait a minute. You said 20 years?
Wait a minute.
Is this some fake friend? What's going on, bro?
For the record, you know this friend. She lived next door to you and has been very close to me in my life.
Okay, yeah, I would definitely. Okay, I would.
Me.
I would check that off for sure. Okay.
And when she said, well, wait a minute, she took a second to think. And then I said, okay, I have no problems with you thinking about that question. She said, no, I don't think you do. I think you really hate people who are corrupted and dirty. So, no, I don't think you hate the police. I think you hate the bad police. I think you also have PTSD when it comes to the police. And that struck something, because she was right. She knows. Mm-hmm. She's been there watching me peek out the windows every 5 minutes because I'm paranoid. I'm about to have somebody break through my door and shoot my dog. It's just how I have been for a long time. I'm a lot better now. Mm-hmm. I'm a lot better than I used to be. But I do suffer when it comes to incidents I've had with the police. So it's not a hatred.
Okay, so I just want to let you know, sometimes people can paint a better narrative about you than, what I'm saying, might be. So let me ask you this question. Mm-hmm. Prior to her saying that, right, what would your answer be for you with that same question?
Actually, I've had to ask that question because I used to think I hated the police. I used to think I hated the police.
When did you not think that any longer?
The next generation of protesters out there,
hate
not just the badge, because I feel like I always hated the badge. They hate everybody behind the badge, and everybody behind them. Everybody. That's hate. That's real hate. And I saw that in them, and I started thinking, you know what, man? I don't think I could sustain that much hate, because I think that would kill me to be this angry, to be this hateful.
So you're saying you sympathize with the officers?
I don't sympathize with the officers
at that time. What happened? What made a difference then, other than the way that they were treating the officers? I mean, did you look at it from the officers' point of view?
It was more of our point of view, because I was trying to figure out, when I'm seeing this, I don't understand the conception here. We want to create a better. We want to create a better communication with these men. I don't understand why you want to see this man's family hurt. I don't want to see his family hurt. I don't want him hurting my family. Is my main point here. Right.
Would you say, have you ever supported another law enforcement officer ever prior to Lieutenant McFadden?
Unfortunately, yes. In the club, and most likely dirty. I'm just being
My
honest
bad.
with
I'm
you.
sorry. I'm sorry to ask that question.
Nah, I mean, you asked me. I'm being honest.
No, okay, because I've never, man, I've known you your whole life.
Right.
And if you would ask me, how do I think you feel about the police officers, I would say definitely not favorable. And I'm not just talking about.
That sounds a little bit sugar-coated to me. Not favorable.
It was definitely. I'm definitely
Nice way of
trying to put it nicely.
I would never have put it that nicely.
De-escalate. So I'm just saying, I've never known you to be sympathetic, have empathy, or anything along those lines when it comes to law enforcement.
Nope.
So, and the only reason I'm trying to identify this is not to make you paint you out as a bad person, but just to say, that you're supporting Lieutenant McFadden speaks volumes in my mind. Made me read up on what you sent me. So anyway, go ahead, bro.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that just because I appreciate the fact that someone knows me enough that you can say that. And I have no disagreements with anything you said.
Right.
I can one up you. It's not even when you said, I don't want to paint you as a bad guy. Oh, you don't have to, because I still have my grandfather's firefighter badge hanging, because I fully support firemen all day long, because they would have the firemen versus the police basketball thing, and I would always give money to the raffle every time I go by the fire department on Weber. I'm gonna buy you that. I'm gonna buy me that little spot, because I just don't like them, and I want to see them lose in this basketball game so bad. And
look, I hate to go back and cut you off, but it struck a bell.
No, you don't.
Remember,
Let me say more about how bad you look.
No. But I remember a couple weeks ago when we were talking, and you were saying about the police athletic league and how you was kind of jealous about the police athletic league. And now I just remembered that's part of the reason why I didn't want to share with you. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't seem like, you liked it. Cops, and that wasn't something.
I was young,
and that wasn't something for me to be proud about either, because back then if you were a black person, you were not proud about hanging around cops.
Right.
So anyway, okay, my fault.
And that was passed down to us. Yeah, for real. That was taught to us. Yeah. We came up as I was coming up, but I've realized definitely, and I'm not blaming Dad in DNA wise, from his mouth. It was from his mouth. Yeah, the two things I was never to be. A cop or a soldier. There was no military, no police. Those were the two main things. He never said don't be a drug dealer. Right. He said don't be a cop, don't be military. Okay?
He didn't like authority.
Don't belong in either.
He wasn't good with authority.
He said we didn't belong in military, period. It wasn't even we don't like the military. We don't belong in the military. That's not our fight. Woo, woo, woo. All the, 60s black radical for sure. But going back to, not only was it, again, with what my friend said, thank you, Melanie, what she said with the PTSD. Yeah. What you just said was, you're talking about you didn't want to introduce me to Pal because of my feelings. And I was what, 7?
Yeah, 7, 8 years old. Something.
And I remember that video that came out a few months ago where the little boy was out in his driveway. He saw the cop car, so he hid behind. Yeah. That's me. That was me. Yeah. I see them. There they are. Right. Oh no, don't let them see me, please. And it's not even like we were dying little kids back then. It's not like now what kids got to face. But still, it was just ingrained, and that's just the way it's been. So getting back to the trauma of seeing a cop play basketball with little kids on the playground. That would trigger me. It literally, I used to get this nauseous feelings. Like people would look at it and be like, oh, that's great that he's out there playing with the kids. I was getting this sick feeling. Like, oh, he's out there questioning the kids about their parents and their older brothers, and they getting information, they making them little snitches. So it was like so mental that it used to just, oh my God, bro, the all the clips of watching police brutality that I have gone through. Hours, days worth. It's just so overwhelming. You can't do it. You tell me, don't send me that stuff. I can't watch that. And I get you. I don't do it because I know how I feel, right? So ultimately what I've had to say, and I said, made sure that Lieutenant McFadden knows she's read what I've written. Right. To be able to vocalize. And I said, I'm not about to go shake hands with, the cop coming down the street. I'm not going to do that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go out and try to make me cop friends all quick. And, I know we have an issue. We have a lot of issues that need to be addressed. But to be able to feel like there's good cops
Most definitely.
in this world.
Most definitely.
I know you got to grow up feeling that. I'm
Right.
just now
I've got some
43 years
I've got some
old.
close friends that, yeah.
I don't.
Right.
I do not. Maybe I could have a cop friend one day.
Right.
Maybe this is possible in my future. I've never seen that. I've never seen that possible. I can say this when it comes to Melissa Mcfadden. It's the realness. It's the honesty. She just makes me feel like, okay, there is a way, not only a black woman, but a black woman who speaks her mind and tells the truth can actually make lieutenant. Just blows my mind.
Right.
I never seen anything like that coming. I thought the system was so corrupted. There's no way you're going to get a person who's being this honest about the system that needs to be fixed. And I've never been about defund the police or want to throw things at the police and hurt the police as bad as I can. Have I been emotional and have I done this? Sure. I can admit that honestly. Yes, it's based on emotions. This is not the person I want to be.
Right.
I don't want the police doing things that bring people to the boiling point of throwing rocks. I think with someone like Melissa Mcfadden, we actually have an understanding that there's a problem here. And once you can admit there's a problem here, you can start working to fix that problem.
Right.
And that's what I've always wanted. I don't know about everybody in the world. That's what I've always wanted. I've wanted police reform for a long time. She, to me, is police reform. And
Beautiful. Because you see the person and not the position.
most definitely. Yes.
That's beautiful, man.
So
that's how it should be.
Yeah, so for me, de-escalation, as I was saying, I'm currently losing people. Not people who are friends, but people who would just support here and there. I'm losing some of those folks. I don't want to say, I don't want to say it on here either, but F the police. Don't want to say it. I just don't want to say it. I'll still, play it, but I don't want to say it to a cop. I don't want to say, do you know what ACAB means? I don't want to say that because I don't know all cops. And I don't want the mentality that all those people right there, I feel, and that's why it triggers me, man, because I feel that's just a complete reverse of what we didn't want to be in our lives, being those people who said all black people.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. And I can't stomach it. It hurts.
Stereotypes, man, kill, man.
It's not good for my mental health at all. So I'm definitely glad that you brought up the Melissa Mcfadden reasoning that I'm so supportive of her of this whole, that slime ball podcaster dude. Just because after watching when he attacked her on the steps in front of police headquarters, he then had an interview with a former sergeant that she named in the book. And he brought her up on charges for it. Not charges, but he
opened up an investigation. I remember that.
He filed on her. And I don't even understand how a former cop can even file something. You're gone. You're former. Anyway, he has him.
She won, though. Right?
He does. Yeah, I mean, no, haven't been able to get her on anything because they tried to get her on that. They tried to say that she had to ask permission to write the book.
Right.
Then they tried to say that she was performing another job because she wrote a book.
Right.
Pretty much this is her own work. No one paid her. This is her performing her art. It's as an artist. There
and
you
they
go.
can't prove when she was actually writing.
They can't do it. This man is trying his hardest to defame her, right? So after I saw a couple other reports, it got deep, man. He's done like 4 to 5 different pieces on her within the last few months. You know what? Exodus Nation, stepping up for her. We have to. Just a little bit. We're about to just go ahead, pick up 10 copies.
Got you.
1 per household, you, me.
Okay.
If that's cool, And I want to be able to give copies to other people who need to read her book.
Okay.
So we're going to make sure we just go ahead, grab those books. We'll get 10 copies and make sure anyone who's interested has their copy. No questions. Don't worry about it.
All right, man. That sounds good.
But, I don't want to say it. It's going to be really hard not to say his name.
I already did. You said I already did. That's the,
You said
that's
it
the,
once,
You said
and
that's the only time you want to say it. So
he's slime ball. I want people
Right.
to know who the slime ball is to make sure, because the slime ball is running for city council.
hey, just rewind it.
Man,
just rewind
only he is only 5 people are running. This is going to happen in May.
it. Right.
He has a chance to be on our city council, and this man's website is nothing but Black Crime Weekly. That's what he targets. Any black crime he can in the area. And if it's not black crime, it's Mayor Ginther, because he can't get into his press conferences. So he's mad. He's feeling some kind of way. But the one story he did was about, and I'll say his name, killer cop Adam Coy. He did a story on him about how he was never fit to be a cop anyway. And I felt like, I see how you focused the story, was like, not all cops are like this. It's not a bad institutional thing. This one guy was the problem. But then the very next piece he did was about how Adam Coy's bond was too large at $3 million. So guess what he did? He compared them to 3 other cases, and all of those were lower than Adam Coy's bond. All three of them, brown and black men.
Wow.
Not a white dude who got a lower. Everything is Black Crime Weekly to this dude.
Gotcha.
And you can tell that it's very clear. Come springtime, if he's really pushing this hard for city council, it's going to be my job to see him face to face. And when I see him face to face, that's when I'll start using his name. And I'll be using his full name all the time just to annoy him, to the point he doesn't even want to hear his own name anymore. And I want to save that till then. But I'm going to see him. He's going to be out on these streets. So Exodus Nation is going to be right there to ask him, why Black Crime Weekly? Why is it that when you don't know the whole story about what happened, you want to make sure that you write black men as thugs when you don't even know the facts?
Right.
Why are you so against Casey Goodson Jr.? What did the boy do to you that you want to make sure he goes down as just another black thug who needed to die? So, I mean, no matter what, that's the stories that this man who used to be employed on 2 different stations here in Columbus, Ohio for many of years, wondering why he doesn't have press credentials now. But this is what he wants to do to people in Columbus, Ohio. So I have no problems one day. You know, hey, you a podcaster. I guess I'm a podcaster. You know, I'm just talking to some peoples. So I want to talk to him. I don't know how that conversation is going to go. But I'm inviting every single person on that street that knows his face to come with me while I conversate with him. So we'll just see how it works. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
that
all.
makes sense.
But yeah, not until then can I say his name, man.
Got you.
Slime ball.
Too easy.
Too easy.
Movement of the people.
Welcome to Exodus Nation.